I'm not the pimp on here either. You and Cyrus, man, have gone in and been like real cool with people.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if I notice things, yeah.
Leon,
and, you know, but there's times where like lately I've been feeling bad because I can't comment. I get so much stuff. It's hard to comment on everybody, and you know, and I know there's been a few people who are like, hey, you know, how come you're not commenting, or how come you're not saying? It's just sometimes you just get too busy, and you know. But I do try to set some time to where I can respond to everybody. Like, there's been some people like sending me some great artwork lately, and I haven't had time to like just say, hey, you know, that's some badass shit. Like, some guy drew a co-host looking Spawn type character, and that picture, it's like a picture. It looked like a poster board or something he did. He took a picture of it, and it looks badass. I can only imagine what a really good photo of it, but. I've been meaning to tell that guy when I saw it. I was like, that was like Friday, and I told myself tonight, it's like I need to write that guy and tell him that. That's a fucking bad.
We all get busy,
piece
man.
Of work, yeah.
And see things like that people do. There's, speaking of which, I told this girl I'd post her picture. Some girl did a really cool picture of all of us as Dark Knight characters.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, and she
that I look forward to.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
19-year-old chick, man, and she put it up on
young artist.
Awesome. Good artist too.
Yeah.
So anyway, get a couple of more emails in here. Householder.
Yes.
Please read this question on a cocoa with sugar and goat milk on top. I guess we're going to read it here. Right? Says, first I have to say Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you two, householder. Belated Easter.
Happy belated Easter, yes.
Now, can you tell us the story of how you both lost your virginity? Are some funny sex story. I always love when you go into your personal life. Thank you. And this is a funny email because I think I've already told you I lost my virginity to a vacuum cleaner. So.
He just did.
Yeah, I told you about that.
Yeah, the first time I lost my virginity was
to the same vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, no, I don't do sloppy seconds. No, I accidentally. Yeah, I saw I was watching Elvira, a Mistress of the Dark. She was the first one to realize. She was the first woman to make me realize that I loved women, and something happened at the bottom of my head, and I was so weirded out. I turned around and I accidentally put myself in the socket hole of the wall, and magic was created. So the socket hole in the wall in Corey's room to the left side of the room.
That's what those burn marks are.
That's you always wondered, and that's
okay. All right,
I lost.
I thought we had a power surge. I didn't know that was that kind of power
and
surge.
I think there was a few candles lit up too on the side. So the Black Jesus candles.
Black Jesus up in here. Here's a question from Emil, EMIL. He says, what's your take on the increase of gun violence this year on the news?
Oh, don't get me started.
Hey, bad economy?
Yeah, bad economy. Yeah, too many crazy fucking people being able to get guns.
That's always been a problem?
Yes, the government really needs to really bust ass on the profile checking. And it's a shame, but I think at this point everybody knows that the unfortunate thing is you may have more of that craziness to look forward to. And almost every story is, somebody losing their job and then they go on a fucking shooting spree. And it's unfortunate. It sucks. It's kind of depressing. Well, it is depressing, but that's how people get. And depending on what part of the country or what part, where you're at, you may be prone more, to it than others. Only because, a lot of towns, they depend on that one job. And if you lose that job, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And your whole world just comes crashing down on you.
And people do that. I mean, they lose it when they lose their jobs.
You don't think straight. Your rationale is completely gone, and you do something like going to church, shooting people, or, just...
No, you're right. There was a story recently. I mean, you always hear about these guys who... Their wives are leaving, and we just had a story about a guy whose wife is leaving him, and he went and took it out on the kids. No time that guy lost his job or not. There was an Asian guy who
I think they both lost their jobs, to be honest. Yeah,
and he lost his job. People made fun of him, his accent. He went back and shot everybody. I don't know if he shot himself or not.
No, I think he did.
He did. Okay, yeah, man. These people, hey, look, and I hate to be the one to say. I hate to be the one to say this, but I don't think I would do this, but people just don't know how they're going to react when tough times happen.
You don't know. No, you don't.
I don't condone what these people are doing, but I'm not the lynch mob mentality of that motherfucker is it's just sad, man. Right. It's just fucking sad that somebody had to lose it that bad that they had to go out and do that because they didn't know what else to do. Of course, they are wrong. Yeah. There's plenty of people out there who don't shoot up shit when they lose a job. They go out there and they make it. Right. But, hey, man, you never know what somebody's mentality is
as far as knowing this, and I'm kind of all for. I understand that people get a little, obsessed with the gun laws and everything, but I definitely think from here on out, at least until things get better in the economy, they need to start really doing some serious testing with these people who are trying to get guns, and it can only help. I mean. If it takes you a month in order to get a gun, I'm all for that. To be honest,
something ain't working.
Yeah, something is not working. Yeah, and I think it's right. The solution is right in our face, but we're a little too worried about politics and more morals and to really just attack it. But
we're throwing rights in there. I mean, nobody's trying to take anybody's rights away. We're just saying let's just re-examine.
Well, the guy who fucking shot up, I can't remember what story it was, but recently a guy fucking just went nuts. Oh, he killed a cop. I think he killed a few. I don't know if he killed one cop or a few cops, but he went on a shooting spree because he thought that something was going to happen with the guns rights. And he just fucking went nuts. He thought people were going to come to his house and take his guns.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah, that fucker's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
and he fucking just went to town on everybody.
See, that's somebody.
And you're like, that motherfucker is owning. He owns guns.
Yeah, he owns guns. He has a fucking. They thought he was going to take his guns away. What did he do? First thing he want to do was shoot up everything.
Flips out. Yeah.
What do you hear about when all these fucking?
I'm sorry. I believe there are a lot of fucking people out there that should not be allowed to have children. Yeah. I think the same thing with people who fucking can easily get guns. But
what happens?
Hey, but a lot of people that sounds crazy coming from me. But,
no, I know. I'm just saying, just re-examine. I'm not saying take anything away.
No, I ain't saying taking nothing
too
away.
Many crazy people out there.
You seriously got to think and do some serious fucking profile checks.
I agree. Here's a question from David. Question for Let's Do This. My first question. All right, David. Let's see if we can handle this for you. He says, last year I went to go see One Missed Call, and I hated the movie. However, there was one song that played in the promotional material, which was Life is Beautiful by 6 a.m. Became one of my favorite songs, and I don't think I would have heard it if it weren't for the ads for One Missed Call. My question is there any song you like a lot, but you wouldn't have heard it if it weren't for the fact that it was included in a movie or its promotional material? This does not apply to songs created for the movie, just to already existing songs. That's a good question, man.
Damn.
I don't know.
I got one.
What?
I can't remember the title, but it's the Smashing Pumpkins song that was on the first Watchmen trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that song was actually
on the
soundtrack to Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
To where when that song came out, you didn't give two shits because it was attached to a bad movie. But when you saw it in the Watchmen trailer, I mean, you're like, that's a fucking kick-ass song.
And it's a remix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'll also say the Nine Inch Nails song that's on the new Terminator soundtrack, which is on the Nine Inch Nails, the Fragile album, where that album, it's by no means the best Nine Inch Nails album, but you would never think twice about that song until you saw it in the Terminator trailer, where it's like, that fucking song gets me pumped up when I see the Terminator trailer. I mean, I'm like, right when I got done watching that trailer with that song, I had that CD and I re-listened to that song and I put it on my page. But now granted, that song you hear some like Terminator type drum beats, like boom, 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 boom. That apparently was added in with the trailer. That was added. Those drum beats aren't in the original song. So but those two songs really stuck out. Which I've heard those songs and I never really thought twice about it until I saw them on a kick-ass trailer. So.
That's a good one, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really can't think of anything right now, but that's a good answer. That Smashing Pumpkins song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because like I said, it's a remix. It was used for a lame ass superhero movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know what? That song wasn't even used in the movie.
No,
it was used just for that first trailer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a great answer. So
thank you, sir.
Oh, pip pip, cheerio.
Hip hip.
Tell you what, we got just a tad bit more time left before we even reach the 2-hour mark. We're gonna read one more email, and that's it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see what we have right here. We have a question from Julius Whitman. Says, recently I asked who my favorite director was, and with recent cinema, I said Clint Eastwood due to my liking for Gran Torino, Changeling, and Flags of Our Fathers, as well as more recently watching $1 Million Baby. So my question is, which is your favorite Clint Eastwood film, whether he starred or directed? Mine would have to be Mystic River, though I'm yet to find the significance of the final scene in that film. Hey, look, I'm very, very partial to Unforgiven.
Yeah, that would be my answer. Yeah,
Unforgiven is like the first Clint Eastwood movie that really came out where he re-examined all those characters he kind of played before. At least all those macho vigilante.
To me, that was like a bookend.
Anti-hero type characters. You know?
Yeah, all the Sergio. That movie to me was the bookend to the Sergio Leone, Man with No Name films.
Even though he's a much worse character, because in those movies, he's a hero. In Unforgiven, he says he lived a life of a villain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a very complex movie. It's a Western. He directed it, which I think he's a director. I think that's that and Flags of Our Fathers are Clint Eastwood's crowning achievements, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think I agree with you. Clint Eastwood's a great director. I mean, Clint Eastwood's he's given us a lot of good material, a lot of good memories, a lot of good movies. He's been in some really cheesy movies that you love. I mean, the fucker acted with an orangutan. Yeah. You know, I mean, come on.
Every Which Way But Loose.
I mean, he's been Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but he's also been like the friendly guy. He was a cowboy in what was it? I can't remember. He was on a TV show where he was in Paint Your Wagon where he was singing.
Rawhide.
Rawhide, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, later in life, he started directing, and he started making some great movies that we would not ever thought would have come out of somebody like Clint Eastwood.
Firefox?
I never saw Firefox, man. But I'll give it to you.
That's a joke. No.
But, Clint Eastwood's a badass, man. Clint Eastwood is one of those individuals who is very versatile, has to be, and very intelligent to do what he does.
Yeah.
And even with the movies I don't like of his, I've seen movies that I don't like Mystic River. I just don't, and
I liked it, but honestly, it's not that memorable, to be honest. I mean, when I saw it, I liked it, but there's nothing that made me want to go.
Some great performances in there.
Great performances. Yeah. I think that's one thing I liked about it. But other than that, nothing really drew me back to that movie. But yeah, I can always put in The Outlaw Josie Wales, High Plains Drifter, all the Sergio Leone films he did. Oh yeah, Unforgiven, and but because it's funny, for the longest time, I was not into Westerns. I just did not care for Westerns until I just it was about, 10 years ago that I finally opened up my eyes to them because of watching the Sergio Leone films. I'm like, I really I keep hearing nothing but great things. I'm going to take the time out and watch all 3 of the films. Mm-hmm. Blew me away. And then it made me go rent Outlaw Josie Wales. But I take that back, because Unforgiven was the movie that just, really hit it for me, where I just like, wow, this is the first Western I really loved. But I would never call myself a Western fan, because that was the only one I liked. Yeah. And it made me honestly stop and go, maybe I should check out his other Westerns, and that's
the one.
And that's when it hit me. Man, what I was missing out on.
Hey man, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's the movie itself. It's a cliche now, but that's a badass movie, man.
You know what? Out of that trilogy, for a few dollars more, that's my favorite.
That's the one that I own. That is
that is my all-time favorite.
I don't own The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I own the soundtrack, but for a few dollars more, I got that movie. Yes. That is a badass movie.
I love that.
Yeah, man. So Clint Eastwood, Unforgiven is probably my favorite movie that he's done. I love the guy, and that's all we need to talk about, because it's coming up on that time, man.
Uh-oh. I hear that music.
Carrying us out of here, people.
Yeah, here comes a goat running with his amp. People got his pedals going. Look at him.
In weeks to come, we'll be talking to you about the parties that are happening. We'll be talking to you about some other events that are happening with the site. And hey, that's all we can say. We're trying to get out of here. Go on, get on out of here.
Woo!
Bye.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!